doing a tutorial on the movement of arch and curl, which is bringing the spine into flexion and extension a little further than our arch and flatten does. So if arch and curl doesn't feel comfortable, please stick with arch and flatten. So we'll start off on our back with your knees bent, feet on the floor. So once you've made your way down onto the floor, just again, we always like to take a moment to check in our somatics practice, to notice the way that the body's coming to the floor. So noticing the position of your pelvis relative to the floor. So how much of the pelvis do you feel on the floor? How much of the low back is in contact with the floor, or what's the size of the curve in contact or not in contact with the floor? Whereabouts in your thoracic spine do you start to feel the rib cage coming into contact? Even checking out maybe the position of the neck. And if you do need support under your head, you always have that option to place a blanket under your head. And then from here, we'll take the hands to the back of the head. So you clasp your hands behind your head. And then we begin to move into our, we'll go into our arch first. So when we go into our arch, we start to press the tailbone towards the mat, head into the hands, and gently pressing your elbows down into the mat, which you'll activate a little bit around the shoulder blades, and the spine will be an extension. And then we let the spine release, or let those muscles slowly release out of that extension, letting go completely. And then we bring the elbows towards the sky, and then we start to engage the abdominal muscles. Before we lift the head, we start to curl the pubic bone towards the navel. The ribs start to draw down towards the pelvis. Then slightly tuck the chin and begin to lift into the curl. Your head is supported by your hands, and then we slowly let that release. Coming back down to the mat, letting the elbows open, the spine completely lets go, or the muscles on the front of the body completely let go, and then we move towards our arch. Tailbone, head, elbows into the mat. Slowly let that contraction on the back of the body release. And then before connecting into lifting the head, we bring the elbows to the sky, contracting the abdominal muscles, rolling the pubic bone towards the navel. Lower ribs start to roll down towards the pubic bone, which is what initiates that lift, and then the head just follows that lift. And then we slowly let that release. Coming back down to the mat, letting go completely. Making sure we've turned off those muscles on the abdomen, and then going towards our arch again. Shoulders press into the mat, elbows, the back of the head presses into the hands, tailbone presses down, and then we slowly let that release. Elbows come towards the sky, abdominals contract, and we roll away from the floor. And slowly releasing. And then we can try working with this with the breath as well. So just like in our arch and flatten, when we go towards our arch, that's usually done on an inhale. And then we allow that exhale to release us back to center. Maybe we pause there for our inhale. And then on our exhale, we engage our abdominals, elbows lift, and we go into that curl on our exhale. And slowly releasing on the inhale. And finish off one more time without any cueing. Once you're complete with the practice, bring your arms back down to your sides and taking a moment again just to pause and go through that short little soma scan again, noticing the way that your spine is in relationship to the floor and how your body's coming down to the mat. And that completes our practice of arch and curl.